Yo, what's up? It's your girl Lotta. I'm tapping in with y'all, telling y'all my new single Little Bitch just dropped on all streaming platforms. Make sure y'all go check that out on YouTube, Apple Music, or Spotify, wherever you want to go to listen to it. My EP will be dropping soon. Make sure y'all check that out too. Just stay tuned. I love it.
The vibrant life of Breneisha Lightfoot, a rising rap artist known as Lotta, was poised to celebrate another year, her upcoming birthday shimmering with the promise of future success. But the music abruptly stopped, replaced by an ominous silence that descended upon her family like a suffocating shroud. This wasn't a momentary pause. It was the chilling prelude to a tragedy that would not only extinguish a bright light but also expose a hidden darkness. The unfolding tragedy began with this unsettling silence. Lotta's family grew increasingly worried as her birthday approached, a time usually marked by her vibrant presence and enthusiastic communication. Lotta, an aspiring rapper on the cusp of wider recognition and a dedicated member of the Wolfpack gunshot response team, was uncharacteristically unreachable. This deviation from her reliable nature immediately triggered alarms among her loved ones. Please, before we continue, subscribe to Lat True Crime Stories. Share the video with someone. As the hours stretched into days without any contact, the family's concern escalated into active worry. Lotta's consistent communication and dependable routine made her sudden absence deeply troubling. They knew her commitment to her music and her community work, making it highly unusual for her to disappear without a word. The approaching milestone of her birthday only amplified their anxiety, as they anticipated celebrating with her, not desperately searching for her whereabouts. Driven by growing fear, Lotta's family decided to take decisive action after 48 hours of unanswered calls and mounting unease. They recognized that this silence was not typical of Lotta's character and that something was profoundly wrong. Their proactive step involved contacting the authorities to request a welfare check at her apartment, hoping to find a reasonable explanation for her absence and alleviate their deepening fears. Upon arriving at Lotta's residence, the responding officers were met with a disturbing scene that confirmed the family's worst anxieties. The apartment bore stark evidence of a violent struggle. Bloodstains marred the surfaces, and personal belongings were scattered haphazardly, indicating a sudden and forceful confrontation. The disarray painted a grim picture, suggesting that Lotta's disappearance was not voluntary but the result of a distressing event. Adding to the immediate concerns, neither Lotta nor her boyfriend, Michael Rorty Nugent, were present at the scene. This absence heightened suspicions and introduced a layer of complexity to the unfolding situation. The visible signs of violence within the apartment strongly suggested that Lotta had been harmed, and the simultaneous disappearance of her boyfriend raised immediate questions about his potential involvement in the disturbing events. Further compounding the family's distress and the investigators' concerns was the discovery that Lotta's identification was missing from the apartment. This detail fueled fears that her disappearance was not accidental and that someone might have intentionally taken steps to obscure her whereabouts or identity. The missing ID served as another ominous indicator that Lotta was in danger and that the situation required urgent and thorough investigation. Beyond the immediate horror of the crime scene, the investigation began to peel back the layers of Breneisha, Lotta Lightfoot's life, revealing a young woman of remarkable spirit and burgeoning talent. Raised in Cleveland with modest means, Lotta possessed an extraordinary work ethic and an unwavering determination to forge her own path. Former supervisors and teachers recounted her exceptional drive and commitment, qualities that propelled her towards her dreams. One of Lotta's most vibrant aspirations was her burgeoning career as a rap artist. Under the moniker Lotta, her authentic lyrics and compelling stage presence were beginning to resonate with a growing fan base. Her music offered a raw and honest reflection of her experiences, connecting with listeners on a deeply personal level. This artistic journey showcased her creativity and her ability to articulate her perspective with power and grace. However, Lotta's impact extended far beyond the realm of music. She was deeply committed to serving her community, dedicating her time and energy to the Wolfpack gunshot response team. This volunteer work demonstrated her compassion and her desire to make a tangible difference in the lives of others, particularly those affected by violence. Her involvement highlighted a profound sense of responsibility and a selfless dedication to the well-being of her community. As investigators delved into Alada's personal life, her recent relationship with Michael Rorty Nugent came under scrutiny. The couple had been together for approximately 8 months, and while the outward appearance of their relationship might have seemed ordinary, subtle shifts in Alada's demeanor had not gone unnoticed by those closest to her. These nuanced changes hinted at underlying tensions or potential difficulties within the relationship. Adding a disquieting element to the timeline of events was Alada's final TikTok post. This brief video, shared shortly before her disappearance, contained a cryptic reference to an argument. This digital footprint immediately became a focal point for investigators, suggesting that a conflict had occurred in the hours leading up to the discovery of the violent scene in her apartment. The post offered a potential glimpse into the immediate circumstances surrounding her disappearance. Faced with the grim reality of the crime scene and the perplexing absence of both Alada and Michael, the Bedford Police Department initiated a comprehensive two-pronged search. One aspect of the investigation focused on locating Alada, hoping against hope that she might still be found safe. Simultaneously, the other crucial element involved the search for Michael Rorty Nugent, whose disappearance in the wake of the violence raised significant concerns and positioned him as a person of interest in Alada's whereabouts. The initial hours of the investigation were critical in establishing a timeline and gathering crucial evidence. The violent scene in Alada's apartment, coupled with her sudden disappearance and the absence of her boyfriend, painted a disturbing picture. As detectives began to piece together the fragments of Alada's life and the circumstances of her disappearance, a dark cloud of suspicion began to coalesce around Michael Rorty Nugent, setting the stage for the subsequent, grim discoveries. The meticulous examination of Alada's apartment by forensic teams revealed a wealth of disturbing evidence that painted a clearer picture of the violence that had transpired. Bloodstains, starkly visible against the surfaces, confirmed a physical altercation had taken place. Scattered items and signs of disarray throughout the residence further corroborated the narrative of a struggle, indicating that Alada had likely fought back against her attacker. Amidst the chaos, investigators discovered a packed duffel bag within the apartment. This detail added another layer of complexity to the mystery. The presence of a packed bag suggested that either Alada or Michael had been planning to leave, or that someone had hastily gathered belongings after the violent incident. This piece of evidence held the potential to unlock crucial insights into the intentions and movements of those involved.
The man charged with killing his girlfriend appeared in court today. The victim disappeared the week of her birthday. Her body later found in the woods, disregarded, disrespected. 19's Katie Tursek has the latest details, now at 3.
Michael Nugent in front of a Bedford Municipal Court judge for the first time since being charged with the murder of his girlfriend, Breneisha Lightfoot.
A technical plea of not guilty is entered.
Nugent's defense attorney pleaded not guilty on his behalf. Judge Michelle Paris set his bond at $2 million.
The allegations are as follows.
The 26-year-old's family reported her missing last Tuesday after police say they couldn't reach Breneisha on her birthday.
Lightfoot's family was concerned, reporting that Rorty Nugent was abusive and violent towards Lightfoot in the past.
Police did a welfare check on her. They found her phone in a yard near East 59th and Chester.
Private security camera footage obtained by the Bedford police detectives shows Michael Rorty Nugent was in the area where the phone was located.
Nugent was Lightfoot's live-in boyfriend. When police checked on her Colony Club apartment in Bedford, they found this alarming sight.
Located a large amount of apparent dried blood and bullet holes, indicating someone was seriously injured.
Police then interviewed neighbors.
Witnesses reported hearing gunshots and commotion around the time of the incident. One witness recognized Rorty Nugent dragging what looked like a body wrapped up in something down the apartment stairs.
And sadly, her body was found Friday in the area of East 64th Street and Francis Avenue in Cleveland's Broadway Slavic Village neighborhood.
Rorty Nugent was arrested, interviewed, and confessed to shooting Lightfoot on July 17, 2023 in the early morning hours and led Bedford detectives to Lightfoot's body and the firearm used to shoot her.
As for what's next for Nugent, Cuyahoga County will be handling his case from here, and that is where he will have his next court appearance. In Bedford, Katie Tursek, 19 News.
As the physical evidence was being meticulously collected and analyzed, detectives simultaneously delved into the realm of digital forensics, seeking clues within Alada's electronic devices. This aspect of the investigation proved to be particularly revealing. Alada's search history unveiled a series of poignant searches for relationship counseling, indicating that she had been actively seeking solutions to difficulties she was experiencing in her relationship with Michael. This digital evidence offered a heartbreaking glimpse into Alada's state of mind in the days leading up to her disappearance. Her proactive search for professional help underscored a desire to address the issues within her relationship, suggesting that she recognized the presence of problems and was actively seeking constructive resolutions. These searches painted a picture of someone grappling with relational challenges, rather than planning a sudden departure without explanation. The convergence of the physical evidence at the crime scene and the emotional weight of Alada's digital footprint began to solidify a grim narrative. The bloodstains and signs of a struggle pointed towards a violent act, while Alada's searches for relationship counseling suggested she was navigating difficulties within her relationship with Michael. These pieces of the puzzle, when viewed together, intensified the focus of the investigation on Michael Rorty Nugent. Armed with the physical evidence from the apartment and the revealing insights from Alada's digital activity, investigators intensified their efforts to locate both Alada and Michael. The evidence strongly suggested that Alada had been the victim of a violent assault, and Michael's unexplained absence made him the central figure in the unfolding mystery. The urgency to find them both, and to understand the sequence of events, became paramount. The chilling evidence unearthed from Alada's apartment, coupled with the poignant revelations from her digital life, painted a stark and troubling picture. The signs of violence and her search for relationship helped create a somber backdrop to her disappearance, further solidifying the suspicions surrounding Michael Rorty Nugent and underscoring the gravity of the situation as the search for Alada intensified. The desperate search for Breneisha, Alada, Lightfoot reached a devastating turning point with the grim discovery of her body in Cleveland's Slavic Village neighborhood. This tragic finding confirmed the worst fears of her family and the investigators, transforming a missing person case into a homicide investigation. The location of her remains, some distance from her apartment, suggested a deliberate effort to conceal her death. The subsequent examination by medical examiners revealed the brutal nature of Alada's death. They determined that she had succumbed to multiple stab wounds, confirming the violence indicated by the scene in her apartment. This stark finding underscored the severity of the assault and the fatal intent of the perpetrator. The clinical details of her death served as a stark and heartbreaking confirmation of the tragedy. As the investigation focused intently on Michael Rorty Nugent, law enforcement agencies actively pursued leads to his whereabouts. Their efforts culminated in his apprehension at a motel located outside of Akron. This capture marked a significant step in the investigation, finally bringing the primary person of interest into custody. Crucially, at the time of his arrest, Michael was found to be in possession of Alada's belongings. This discovery provided a tangible link between him and the victim, further strengthening the case against him. The presence of Alada's personal items in his possession raised serious questions about his involvement in her disappearance and death. With Michael now in custody and incriminating evidence recovered, the focus of the investigation shifted towards building a solid case against him. The physical evidence from Alada's apartment, the digital footprint revealing her search for relationship counseling, and now the possession of her belongings by Michael all contributed to a growing body of evidence pointing towards his culpability. The arrest of Michael Rorty Nugent brought a sense of grim closure to the initial phase of the investigation. While the discovery of Alada's body was a devastating blow, the apprehension of the primary suspect offered a pathway towards justice for Alada and her grieving family. The legal process would now begin to unravel the full truth behind this tragic event. The discovery of Alada's remains and the subsequent arrest of Michael Rorty Nugent marked a pivotal and somber chapter in this tragic case. The confirmation of her violent death and the apprehension of the individual found with her belongings set the stage for the legal proceedings that would seek to hold the responsible party accountable for the loss of a promising young life. Following his apprehension, Michael Rorty Nugent faced arraignment, where the formal charges against him were presented. The gravity of the situation was underscored by the primary charge of first-degree murder, reflecting the prosecution's belief that Alada's death was intentional and premeditated. This initial legal proceeding set the stage for a potentially lengthy and emotionally charged trial. The subsequent trial unfolded over 7 intense days, during which the prosecution presented the assembled evidence against Michael. This included the forensic findings from Alada's apartment, the digital record of her search for relationship counseling, and the fact that he was found in possession of her belongings. The prosecution aimed to convince the jury that Michael was directly responsible for Alada's death and that his actions constituted murder. In contrast, the defense presented their case, likely aiming to cast doubt on the prosecution's narrative and potentially argue for a lesser charge or even an acquittal. The details of the defense strategy are not fully elaborated in the provided information, but it would have involved challenging the evidence and offering an alternative interpretation of the events. The jury was tasked with carefully considering all the presented information and delivering a verdict based on the law and the facts. After days of testimony and deliberation, the jury reached a verdict that surprised many: involuntary manslaughter. This verdict indicated that while the jury believed Michael was responsible for Alada's death, they did not find sufficient evidence to conclude that he had intentionally killed her. The distinction between murder and manslaughter hinges on the element of intent, and the jury's decision suggested they found the prosecution's proof of intent to be lacking. The announcement of the involuntary manslaughter verdict elicited a wave of profound emotional responses, particularly from Alada's family. Their victim impact statements, delivered during the sentencing phase, articulated the immense grief and irreparable loss they had suffered. They spoke of Alada's vibrant life, her potential, and the devastating impact of her death on their lives, conveying the deep pain caused by Michael's actions. Ultimately, the judge imposed the maximum sentence allowable under the law for involuntary manslaughter. While this sentence represented a legal consequence for Michael's role in Alada's death, it did not fully satisfy the sense of justice for many in the community, particularly Alada's loved ones. The verdict and the subsequent sentencing sparked discussions and debates about the adequacy of the legal outcome in light of the tragic loss of life. The legal proceedings against Michael Rorty Nugent culminated in a verdict of involuntary manslaughter and the imposition of the maximum allowable sentence. This chapter of the tragic event highlighted the complexities of the legal system, the crucial role of the jury in determining guilt and intent, and the profound emotional impact of such cases on the victim's family and the wider community, leaving many to grapple with the outcome and its implications. The tragic death of Breneisha Alada Lightfoot sent shockwaves of profound grief throughout Cleveland's vibrant artistic and activist communities. Alada's burgeoning talent as a rapper and her dedicated community work had touched many lives, and her sudden, violent loss left a gaping void in the hearts of those who knew and admired her. The collective mourning reflected the significant impact she had made in her short life. In the wake of this devastating loss, Alada's colleagues and friends within the Wolfpack gunshot response team rallied to ensure her memory would endure. They committed themselves to expanding their programming, determined to amplify the work Alada had so passionately supported. This resolve to carry forward her community-focused efforts became a central tenet of her lasting legacy. This commitment manifested in the creation of the Alada Legacy Initiative. This dedicated effort aimed to enshrine Alada's values and contributions by supporting causes close to her heart. Through this initiative, the Wolfpack and the wider community sought to transform the pain of her loss into positive action, ensuring that her spirit of service would continue to inspire. One tangible expression of Alada's enduring impact was the creation of a vibrant mural in her honor. This public artwork served as a powerful tribute to her life and her contributions, offering a space for remembrance and reflection within the community she served. The mural visually celebrated her spirit and ensured that her presence would continue to be felt within the urban landscape. Beyond artistic tributes, Alada's legacy also took root in educational and philanthropic endeavors. Scholarships were established in her name, providing opportunities for aspiring young artists and community advocates to pursue their dreams, mirroring Alada's own aspirations and dedication. These scholarships aim to nurture the talent and passion that Alada embodied. Furthermore, the Wolfpack Gunshot Response Team integrated their training programs into school curricula, a direct extension of Alada's commitment to violence prevention and community empowerment. By equipping young people with the skills and knowledge to respond to and prevent violence, they sought to honor Alada's proactive approach to community safety and well-being. The enduring legacy of Breneisha, Alada, Lightfoot transcended the tragic circumstances of her death. Through community initiatives, artistic tributes, educational opportunities, and a continued commitment to the causes she championed, her spirit of creativity, service, and resilience lived on, inspiring others to make a positive impact on their communities. The tragic narrative of Breneisha, Alada, Lightfoot's murder served as a stark and painful reminder of the critical importance of recognizing the warning signs within unhealthy relationships. The investigation revealed subtle changes in Alada's behavior and her proactive search for relationship counseling, underscoring the need for greater awareness of controlling behaviors and isolation tactics that can escalate into violence. Recognizing these red flags early can be crucial in preventing future tragedies. This case highlighted the insidious nature of escalating domestic violence. Michael Rorty Nugent's history of prior offenses, though perhaps not fully known to Alada or her immediate circle, painted a disturbing pattern. This underscores the importance of heeding any indications of past abusive behavior and taking seriously any expressions of concern from friends or family regarding a loved one's safety within a relationship. The timeline of Alada's disappearance and the subsequent discovery of the violent crime scene emphasize the vital need for swift action when an individual unexpectedly goes missing, particularly when there are underlying concerns about their well-being. The family's proactive decision to request a welfare check likely played a crucial role in the timeline of the investigation, highlighting the importance of trusting one's instincts and acting decisively in such situations. The investigation also underscored the critical role of community support systems in safeguarding individuals at risk. Alada's involvement with the Wolfpack gunshot response team demonstrated the power of community-based initiatives. Strengthening these networks and ensuring that resources are readily available for individuals experiencing relationship difficulties or potential domestic violence situations is paramount for prevention. Furthermore, the digital footprint left by Alada, specifically her searches for relationship counseling, served as a poignant reminder of the silent cries for help that may exist in the digital realm. Raising awareness about available resources online and encouraging individuals to seek help proactively, even through anonymous means, can provide a lifeline for those in need. The legal outcome of the case, the involuntary manslaughter verdict, sparked considerable discussion about the complexities of proving intent in violent crimes. This highlights the ongoing need for a deeper societal understanding of domestic violence dynamics and the challenges involved in achieving justice for victims. Continued education and training for law enforcement and the legal system are crucial in effectively addressing these cases. Ultimately, Alada's story serves as a powerful call to action. It compels individuals, communities, and support systems to be more vigilant in recognizing the signs of relationship abuse, to offer proactive help, and to ensure that resources for intervention and prevention are readily accessible. By learning from this tragedy, society can strive to create safer environments and prevent similar losses in the future, honoring Alada's memory through proactive change. The enduring narrative of Breneisha, Alada, Lightfoot's life and tragic death serves as a potent and unwavering plea for heightened awareness surrounding the insidious nature of relationship violence. Her story compels us to actively dismantle the silence that often shrouds abuse and to foster a culture where seeking help is not only encouraged but readily accessible. Alada's vibrant spirit and the circumstances of her loss demand that we remain vigilant in recognizing and addressing the warning signs of danger. This tragedy underscores the urgent need for proactive education on healthy relationships, beginning at an early age. By equipping individuals with the knowledge to identify controlling behaviors, understand the dynamics of abuse, and develop healthy communication skills, we can empower them to build safer connections and recognize when intervention is necessary. Prevention through education is a critical step in breaking the cycle of violence. Alada's story also highlights the vital role that friends, family, and the wider community play in safeguarding those who may be at risk. Cultivating a supportive environment where individuals feel safe to voice concerns about a loved one's relationship and where those experiencing abuse know they will be believed and supported is paramount. Community vigilance and intervention can provide crucial lifelines. Furthermore, this case emphasizes the importance of readily available and accessible resources for individuals experiencing or witnessing domestic violence. Ensuring that crisis hotlines, shelters, counseling services, and legal aid are well-funded, widely publicized, and easily reachable is essential for providing immediate and long-term support to those in need. Removing barriers to help seeking can save lives. The digital age presents both challenges and opportunities in addressing relationship violence.
That's what she's telling us. Well, she's not the only one that's been talking. And I can't tell you the other people that told us we don't do that, right?
There's anything to do with my family. They all weird like that. That's why I don't fuck with my family. They always spend the constant lies on them. And everybody knows it.
It's not. It's other unrelated people that saw stuff.
I don't have friends.
Who are the two guys helping you carry her out?
The one thing about carrying nothing, no. I can't carry nothing.
This ain't the angle to go, man. This ain't the angle to go. Because we already got the fact that you did it. If you're gonna go with that story, man, they're gonna hit you with everything they got. I'm telling you. You being compassionate and apologetic, and maybe there was an argument that escalated. Maybe she
think I did it?
We know you did it. We don't think you did it. We know you did it. We're just trying to get your side of the story to hear what led up to that.
Why do you know I did it?
We can't tell you everything, right? We can't tell you everything. And put other people, witnesses at risk and stuff like that. We can't say all that. I know when we're sitting across the table from people, they want to hear how much we have so they can just make a decision on whether they're going to come clean or whether they're going to stick with their lies. And all I can tell you, man, is that we got you. We got it. We got it from a lot of different angles.
While technology can be misused by abusers, it also offers avenues for victims to discreetly seek help and for awareness campaigns to reach broader audiences. Leveraging digital platforms to disseminate information about resources and warning signs is a crucial aspect of modern prevention efforts. Ultimately, honoring Alada's memory requires a sustained and collective commitment to change. This includes challenging societal norms that condone or minimize violence, holding perpetrators accountable, and prioritizing the safety and well-being of victims. Her story should serve as a continuous catalyst for action, driving us to create communities where such tragedies are prevented. Let Alada's voice, though silenced too soon, continue to resonate as a powerful call for empathy, awareness, and proactive intervention. By learning from her story and committing to creating a safer world, we can ensure that her legacy lives on not just in memory, but in tangible change that protects others from experiencing similar heartbreak. The time for collective action is now. The narrative surrounding the murder of Breneisha, Alada, Lightfoot extends beyond the immediate tragedy and its aftermath, evolving into an ongoing dialogue about how to effect lasting change in addressing relationship violence. Her story serves as a continuous point of reference, urging communities and individuals to engage in meaningful conversations about prevention, intervention, and support for victims. The discussions sparked by her case aim to foster a deeper understanding of the complexities of domestic abuse and inspire proactive solutions. Central to this ongoing conversation is the critical need to challenge deeply ingrained societal attitudes and norms that may inadvertently condone or minimize violence against women. This involves actively dismantling harmful stereotypes, promoting gender equality, and fostering a culture of respect and nonviolence. Shifting these fundamental beliefs is a long-term but essential process in creating a safer society for everyone. Furthermore, the dialogue surrounding Alada's case emphasizes the importance of strengthening legal frameworks and ensuring their effective implementation in addressing domestic violence. This includes advocating for stricter penalties for offenders, providing better protection for victims, and ensuring that law enforcement and the judicial system are adequately trained to handle these sensitive and often complex cases with empathy and understanding. Continuing the conversation also involves amplifying the voices of survivors and those working on the front lines of domestic violence prevention. Their experiences and insights are invaluable in shaping effective strategies and informing public discourse. Creating platforms for these voices to be heard and heeded is crucial in driving meaningful change and fostering a more informed and compassionate response to this issue. Moreover, the discussion prompted by Alada's tragedy underscores the necessity of increased funding and resources for organizations dedicated to supporting victims of domestic violence and implementing prevention programs. Adequate financial support is essential for these organizations to provide crucial services such as emergency shelter, counseling, legal aid, and educational initiatives. Investing in these resources is an investment in community safety and well-being. The ongoing dialogue also encourages individuals to take personal responsibility in challenging harmful behaviors and supporting those who may be at risk. This includes speaking out against violence, intervening when witnessing abuse, when safe to do so, and offering support to friends or family members who may be experiencing difficulties in their relationships. Collective individual action can contribute significantly to creating a culture of safety and accountability. In essence, the legacy of Breneisha, Alada, Lightfoot continues to fuel a vital and evolving conversation aimed at fostering lasting change in how society understands, addresses, and ultimately prevents relationship violence. By maintaining this dialogue, advocating for systemic change, supporting survivors, and promoting a culture of respect and nonviolence, we can work towards a future where such tragedies are far less likely to occur, truly honoring her memory through meaningful action. Alada's vibrant spirit, her artistic talents, and her dedication to community service continue to resonate deeply within the hearts of those who knew her and the wider community touched by her story. Keeping her memory alive serves as a powerful motivator for ongoing efforts toward prevention and support. Remembering Alada involves celebrating the positive impact she had during her life. Her music, her activism with the Wolfpack Gunshot Response Team, and her unwavering commitment to making a difference in her community are all facets of a life that, though tragically cut short, left an indelible mark. Focusing on these positive contributions ensures that her legacy is not solely defined by the circumstances of her death but also by the vibrant way she lived. Tributes, such as the mural created in her honor and the scholarships established in her name, play a crucial role in sustaining Alada's memory and inspiring future generations. These tangible reminders of her life and values serve as beacons of hope, encouraging others to pursue their passions, engage in community service, and strive to make a positive impact on the world, just as Alada did. The ongoing work of the Alada Legacy Initiative further exemplifies the power of remembrance in action. By continuing to support causes Alada cared about and expanding programs that reflect her values, this initiative ensures that her spirit of generosity and commitment lives on through tangible efforts that benefit the community she loved. Alada's story, while heartbreaking, also serves as a catalyst for important conversations and educational initiatives aimed at preventing future tragedies. By openly discussing the warning signs of relationship violence and promoting healthy relationship dynamics, we can empower individuals to recognize and address potential dangers, fostering a culture of safety and respect. The hope for a future free from relationship violence is fueled by the collective determination to learn from Alada's story and to translate that learning into meaningful action. This involves supporting survivors, holding perpetrators accountable, and working towards systemic changes that address the root causes of abuse. Alada's memory compels us to strive for a world where everyone can live free from fear and violence. Ultimately, remembering Breneisha, Alada, Lightfoot is not just about acknowledging a tragic loss. It is about actively channeling the lessons learned from her life and death into a force for positive change. By keeping her spirit alive through remembrance, education, and ongoing action, we can continue to inspire hope for a future where relationships are built on respect, equality, and love, ensuring that her legacy serves as a guiding light for generations to come.